Spirit has a message for you. Your psychic gifts are not what you think they are. They're not going to present themselves to you in the way that you think that they will. And it was coming in loud and clear as I was preparing to shower, and Spirit had highlighted that you're trying to search for your gifts in your external. Like I feel this energy of people just searching and reaching and buying. And it's like, no matter how many crystals you put into your pocket, no matter how many pendulums you buy, no matter how many tarot cards you have, your psychic gifts, any gifts from Spirit, come from within you, because you are Spirit. And the only way that you're going to be able to connect with them is when you do your healing. Because what stands between you and your potential to be extremely powerful with your visions and your clairvoyance and your claircognizance is your amount of ego and how you are viewing the way this path needs to go. And I want to say to you, because it feels like many of you are also like multi-talented artists, it took me a while before I realized that the art that I create are visions of the future. And I didn't piece it together for a long time until Spirit said, would you slow down? And would you just look? And I was painting one day with my friends, and I walked into their house with my painting, and there was a snapshot of what I had painted. And then I sat down to do a drawing, and I put it to the side, and then the next day someone placed a pillow on the bed, and it was the exact same pattern. This I painted not that long ago, and that was a painting of the countryside where I went last week. This is a snippet of a feather, and right before I saw this feather, someone goes, that looks like a feather. And so I tell you this so you understand that your gifts come out when you are fully connected to the universe, like fully connected to universe, spirit, God. It doesn't matter what you use, but when you are connected and when you have let go. And I see this time and time again when people come into the sessions sometimes of like, oh, you know, I read this book on Akashic Records. Oh, I did this astrology thing. Like, oh, I did blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, okay, how is your stillness? Tell me about your connection. It's not there. And it's not very strong, because your ego has decided to tell you that all the books around you know more about you than Spirit knows, than the universe knows. And so people spend their time trying to educate themselves on all these things that don't really matter. But the obsessive thoughts about you not being good enough and gaslighting yourself about your visions is what you actually need to release, so you can believe your visions from Spirit, so you can be in stillness. And when you accept as a person who is gifted that healing is your only path to expanding your gifts, that's when everything changes. That's when Spirit and your ancestors and your guides just step in miraculously to bring you the teachers. The minute I did that, I got a teacher, multiple teachers, but the main one out of the Himalayas. And it was the most beautiful thing I had ever received, because they taught me in an instant how to have no thoughts and how to just let the divine flow through. And so I ask you, and I want you to reflect on how often you're actually looking within yourself. Like, how often, not just you sit down and journal some things every once in a while, but how much are you actually looking at your shadows to the point where you are diving so deep into your shadows on faith that you don't see the light, but you trust that there is light. Like, that is the type of shadow work and generational healing that has to be done in order for your gifts to evolve. And I also just want to share this because one of my beautiful clients, they know who they are, asked me the other day, when you were on your spiritual journey and you were evolving your gifts, who was your Z? And on my journey, there wasn't anybody. No one that could unconditionally love me to the extent that I unconditionally love people and that could understand my gifts. There wasn't a physical person. There were people along the way who gave me a leg up, but there was also a lot of trauma involved. And the only thing that kept me going, that kept me grounded, that kept me from turning out to be some sort of monster was spirit. And that's it. And that's why my gifts are so strong as they are right now, and I can sit here and teach people every single day how to do the same thing, how to manifest, because my connection to the universe has been strong my entire life, because I invited it in a long, long, long time ago. And so I want you to reflect on your own life. What are you leaning on right now to help you develop your gifts? Is it something that doesn't align with who you are right now? Or are you being presented with teachers to help you, but you're too scared to commit? You're too scared to take a leap. You don't fully trust in the divine. I feel like that is coming up a lot. And when you feel that mistrust, again, know that that's your ego. That's not spirit, that's not your ancestors, that's not who you truly are. It's not what you're meant to do in this lifetime. And know that as you heal, as you release that deep grief and pain and sorrow and anger and frustration for the cards you were dealt, for the life that you've lived, until you do that, you will never truly step into your fullest capacity of divinity. Because a part of your soul journey is to heal those things. It's like having a garage filled with a bunch of stuff and then trying to figure out how you're going to park your car in there. Where are you going to put that fancy car that Spirit gave you if you have no space for it? And know that you are always protected. Like, I feel like there's a group of you who are worried that you may always be alone, or Like you don't have many people to talk to, but you want to. You have this yearning. And lean into your spirituality because that's going to help you. And I was thinking about my own journey as Spirit was highlighting this to me, because when people come into my space and they say like, I don't hear my ancestors, they're gone, all these things, it always felt bizarre in the beginning, because when you unconditionally love yourself and you believe, like fully believe in unconditional love, thoughts like that don't exist, because you know that that would never be true. You know that even if you may not hear them through your clairaudience, your ancestors would never leave your side. You know that spirit never leaves, ever. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was almost shocked, because of the amount of pain that someone can inflict on themselves by not believing that spirit is there, because they've chosen to believe that, because their ego has told them that your life must look a certain way in order to be worthy of spirit's energy and love. In order for your ancestors to be by your side, you will hear them all the time. And I feel like that's also because on social media, there's a lot of readers, a lot of teachers who, you know, post a lot of videos about receiving messages. And so you become conditioned that every reader, every seer, every medium, that is their state 24/7. But when you are truly connected to energy, to the divine, you know that clairaudience, claircognizance is not the only way that energies communicate with you, because everything is energy, and on a basic level it's impossible for them to not exist. Like, it's literally impossible. It's impossible. And seers like myself, of course there's quiet, but it doesn't mean that they're gone. And I still get visions, and I still paint the future, and I still know what my clients are up to, because I can sense them. And so I want you to start redefining what your psychic gifts are supposed to look like, and just let it go. Let it go. Every single person is extremely different. Every single one. Every single one of my clients is different. Gifted in so many different ways. It's the coolest thing to see. But you have to let go, and you have to surrender. And you have to release all those emotions that don't serve you. They don't serve you at all. Whatsoever. And you'll find that likely throughout your entire life, you have always been connected to the divine. You just didn't understand it. You didn't see it. You didn't know what it was, because you didn't have the tools. But on some level, you felt it, right? When children are born into the world, the physical world, they're the closest to the divine. As they get older, the connection gets a little broken, because they go into a system of oppression, a system of energetic chaos. So they lose touch of how they once were when they were younger. And I was thinking about this for myself, and I want you to do the same right now. Think about it. um, I remember I had many moments of trauma in my life and not knowing what to do with them. And recently I found a bunch of my school books, which is what Spirit will do before your gifts evolve, before your life changes, before your timeline changes. You'll go through I'd like to call them a walk down memory lane. And so you can remember. And I was looking at my books, and in so many of the corners, I don't even remember writing it, but I had written "Keep the Faith" randomly. And I was going back because I'm a seer, so I can, go through time. And it was almost like it was automatic, like automatic writing. But it was in so many books, so many journals, so many pieces of art, just scribbled in the corner, "Keep the faith." And I was looking at the sigil in my Grim, and I kept staring at it, and I asked, like, where have I seen that before? Why does it feel so familiar, right? Sometimes we draw things or we meditate on things, and they're a part of who we are. We just can't remember sometimes, which is why it's always good to have a divine connection so they can help you. And I started to get this vision, like they were placing me specifically in the car, and I remember like being in the passenger seat, and on my hand sometimes, or on the side of the seat, I would draw this symbol. That's where it came from. I would draw this symbol, and I would count, and I would draw this symbol, and it was almost like, I remember it was like a meditation almost. Like I didn't know why I would do it, but I would do it during certain times of the day. And then I realized it was an infinity sign with divine numbers all around it, and shapes I had never seen before, but were very ancient shapes. And so I would draw it, and it was my way of meditating. And I realized that even when I was little, I was connecting on a very on a very creepy, deep level, but I was also talking to spirits and doing weird things. Remarkable things, really. Not weird. So reflect for yourself on things you did when you were younger, because you're gonna find moments that are gonna lend you the perspective that you need right now. Because many of you, for the collective, and this is a very big collective energy, you're growing, and you're changing, and you're manifesting, and Spirit is sending you all these messages about who you truly are. Like, remember who you are. Remember. Maybe you should watch Lion King. And it's time for you to just go. Like what I'm getting, just go, just expand, just like keep living, keep having fun. Let Spirit give you all the visions. And for those of you who have really strong visions, just be mindful of the life that you live. Because Spirit is showing me, and also wanting me to explain, that on my journey, there's many moments where I don't always drive, because the visions are so strong that it takes over my physical vision. And They want you to use your manifestation skills to help yourself, to get the resources, to pray, to ask for help, to ask for things to come into your 3D, but you have to really feel it, really believe that it is there for you, and it'll come very quickly. But you can't manifest from fear. Like, I'm getting a lot of fear and scarcity and like, how is this gonna work? No. No. It's what someone's ancestors like, no. And when I was on the road, I was nervous of driving, and I got tired of driving, and I asked for help from spirit, and then I manifested a driver, and it ended up being more affordable than a car, and it was a great experience. So know that for those of you who have really strong gifts like that, it's okay to manifest resources for you to help yourself, and to also put boundaries around your visions. That's what I teach my clients to do. Put boundaries around your visions. That's what allows me to drive. Otherwise, I don't know where I would be going. Or walking most of the time. And I'm pausing because I want to make sure that I'm covering everything that is being requested to be shared. Yeah, lean into your art. Some of you are really good at facial, like face things. Even as abstract artists, like you draw faces and whatnot. It's important. There's also, like, for some of you, video games are important. Grand Theft Auto, maybe. Something you're playing. Be mindful of what you're watching. Is what someone said. Be mindful of what you're watching. That is not something you want to watch when you are a strong manifester. It's low frequency. Someone's ancestor. It's low frequency. Stop doing it. Also, something about soda. Someone drinks too much soda. You drink too much dark soda, maybe Coca-Cola. You have access to healthier food. Whoever this is for, you just choose not to buy it. There's that. Something about confidence. So if you are, again, having like, confidence is difficult for you, pay attention. You get signs about it earlier than you think, before it feels like your panic attacks. So if you are having panic attacks, for some of you, maybe 3 of you even, it feels like it manifests in your belly first before it moves into your chest and shoulders. Yeah, take some deep breaths and yeah, drink some orange juice, massage your belly. You need to exercise more. You're not alchemizing enough energy from your belly. That's why it gets stuck there, and then it shoots up to your chest, because you're trying to, like, it's almost like you're trying to understand your gifts, or like, I don't know if they like scare you or something, and then the energy just shoots up all wild to your chest and gets stuck there. It never makes it to your third eye. Spend time with your animals. Some of you are not spending enough time with your animals. I'm just gonna keep talking until they're done talking. So who's ever sticking around, I appreciate you. Organize your life. Some of you are disorganized. It feels very like an Asian ancestor. They don't like your disorganization. Cause chaos in your life. Something about your shoes. I don't know. Shoelaces? Are they coming untied or something? Like, I don't know, something weird. That one's not very clear. And someone, whoever this is for, you're eating too much pasta, or you're craving a lot of pasta. You're tired. You're tired, that's why you're eating a lot of pasta. And the pasta's making you more tired. So maybe split your pasta in half and put half veggies. And then eventually stop eating so much pasta. It's like a round pasta. Yeah, I feel like that's it. Enjoy yourself. Make sure that you are all getting your movement in. But I just wanted to share this message about your gifts, and Spirit asked me to lend some examples so people know how things can manifest into their life. And so now it's up to you to be able to navigate it for yourself. Because Spirit says that they speak loudly to you, but it's sometimes difficult to hear them. And that's okay. That happens. But remove your distractions and it'll be easier. You're all right. Like, I feel like some of you were really worried about it. You're all right. Like, it feels like even Grandpa, like, you're all right. Don't worry. A big truck's important. But anyways, that is it from me. Please be sure to comment and like below and let me know where your gifts are at. And I invite you all to come to Z School for the Gifted and come learn about healing and come learn about how to develop your gifts. And I also use my own gifts to help unlock yours or give you information and confirmations for you, like if you have questions and things. And you know, I can see the future, I can see things, and they'll show me stuff, so it'll make it easier for you to be able to understand your own gifts. And like, a lot of you have questions about what you're seeing and if you're interpreting it right, and I can help you with that. So that is it. Stop by the class. I cannot wait to see you. Be sure to join the Discord and also stream my new music. I really would appreciate it. And if you're looking for some free goodies, there's also some stuff down below in terms of the 5 empowered practices to ascended happiness. I also have a rising meditation on insight timer that's free, and I'm gonna have another one coming soon. And that's it. I will talk to you all later.